Am I the asshole for kicking my house guests out 11 hours before their flight is scheduled to leave? My friend and his wife have made plans to visit us this summer for a weekend stay. The flight is 2 hours, so not a really long journey for them. We have our home professionally cleaned regularly and go all in to be good hosts to our guests. However, with any good thing, some people try to take advantage. I usually will take an extra day from work after guests leave to get rest or even tidy up the house a bit. It's just a peaceful time for me to return to the normalcy of our household after being in host mode. Before my friend booked his flight, my husband let it slip that I will not be working the Monday after my friends stay with us. Next thing I know, my friend tells me that they will be flying out on a red-eye the Monday I took off for rest. This means they will arrive early Friday morning and leave late Monday night. To that I responded that I will be taking them to the airport as early as 8 a.m. Monday morning so I can have my day of rest like I planned. My friend tells me that he doesn't understand why they can't just hang out at our place or have us show them around town more on that Monday since they have a late flight. I explained to them that the day off is for me to rest, not to continue to be their host. I told them that they are more than welcome to leave their luggage here if they want to go explore on their own, but we will not be hosting them or playing tour guide after Monday morning. He goes on to admit that it was cheaper for him to book the later flight on Monday and that it's not a big deal for him and his wife to just hang out at my house all day until it's time for them to fly out. Keep in mind that I will have to take them to the airport or pay for rideshare because he refuses to pay. I will also have to feed them. I told him that they are welcome to visit and stay with us, but staying at our house all day Monday is not an option and he needs to make other arrangements. He's now accusing me of being a horrible friend and his wife says we're Oz. Your thoughts? Not the asshole? He refuses to pay for a rideshare? Oh no, no, no. Not only would I stick to my boundaries, I would also tell them you have fed them for the weekend and hosted them. They can figure out their own way to the airport, and it may be no big deal to them to stay at your home. Of course not, they think they are at a hotel. It is a big deal to you. And if I understand correctly, this trip did not even happen yet? It is for this summer? Well, guess what? They just lost their free place to stay. No one abuses my hospitality and calls me an a-hole. Your friends are not being unreasonable by asking you to spend Monday with them or just let them hang out, but they are being unreasonable by not taking no for an answer. But you sound like the least gracious host in town. Like, why have people visit if the thought of spending 12 extra hours with them causes you such trauma? Using the term loosely, of course. It shouldn't be traumatic, but you are making it so. You sound exhausting. This is so weird. Your friends are weird because they decided to stay an extra day instead of asking if they could stay an extra day. You are weird for making such a big deal out of kicking them out of the house. Why can't you just tell them that you have other plans and it's not convenient instead of climbing a hill to die on? I am confused. Are these your actual friends? Because if they are, why wouldn't you want to spend as much time with them as possible considering they live a flight away? Do you really need a full day of rest to recover from a few days with them? I agree they should not have assumed they could stay Monday or that you drive them. However, as a friend I'd be glad they could save money and to see them longer. Maybe compromise and take them to the airport early afternoon. Or just let them hang at your house on Monday but don't entertain them. This sounds like a strange friendship. So they're no friends of yours really. You are the asshole. They shouldn't feel entitled to your time or transportation, but intentionally taking them to the airport as early as possible and expecting them to sit there all day is an asshole move. There should have been a lot more communication involved in the planning process, but I would never want my friend to sit at the airport for hours so I could rest. Am I the asshole for not letting my coworkers stay at my place even though I have the space? So I, 23 female, live alone in a small 2-bedroom house. One room is mine. The other one is basically my everything room. It's my office, my closet, storage. Sometimes I just lay on the floor in there and stare at the ceiling when life sucks lol. It is not a guest room. I've lived with horrible roommates before, so I worked really hard to be able to afford my own place and I love having my space. It's literally my safe little bubble. Anyways, one of my coworkers, 25 female, got into a huge fight with her roommates and they kicked her out. She was venting at work and I felt bad and was like, that sucks OMG. And even sent her a few places to look at. I was trying to be helpful without inviting chaos into my life, YK? Later that night she texts me saying, hey, I was thinking maybe I could just crash with you for a few weeks since you live alone and have the space? I literally got that sinking feeling in my chest. No, I'm not even close to her. We're cool at work but we've never even hung out outside of lunch breaks and complaining about our boss. She doesn't know anything about me. And I don't know her like that. Why would she live in my house? So I replied super politely like, I totally get that you're going through it, but I really value my space and I'm just not in a place where I can have someone stay with me, like I was nice. Didn't ghost her. Didn't ignore her, just said no. Next day she's acting really weird. Then another coworker tells me she said I let her be homeless when I have an entire room to myself. Like girl, first of all, she's staying at her BF's place. Second of all, I pay to live alone. That's the whole point. I don't want to feel tense or uncomfortable in my own space. I don't want to tiptoe around a person I barely know. And I definitely don't want to deal with, just a few weeks, turning into, I'm looking but nothing's coming through yet, for 2 months. Now people at work are acting like I'm the bad guy. Sorry for not letting a coworker move into my apartment because she had a bad fight? IDK. I feel bad but like. Also no. Aida? Not the asshole. I don't understand why a coworker would feel entitled to your home. That's truly bizarre. Her life is not your responsibility. I mean, I could maybe get it if you were super close and good, long-term friends with a deep connection. But a casual coworker? Not the asshole. You don't need to find out firsthand why her roommates and boyfriend don't want to live with her either. Not the asshole. For the coworkers saying you're letting the girl be homeless, etc., etc. Do you see them offering a place for her to crash? Exactly. Not the asshole, and I think her reaction demonstrates you dodged a bullet here. Not the asshole. Maybe the snide coworkers should be housing her if they feel that strongly about it, or pool their resources to get her a home. Beyond it being not your problem, not your responsibility, accepting a roommate is massive decision, and once they're in, it's hard as hell to get them out. It sucks that they're being immature about it and throwing shade, but she asked and you said no. You're not an asshole for setting boundaries. That's your space, your home, your safe place. And she probably got kicked out for a reason. Tears of joy. All too often, situations like this become a hole with no bottom. Am I the asshole is full of stories that begin with, it was only supposed to be for a few weeks. You do not owe her anything. Your space is yours. Not the asshole, and tell anyone who suggests otherwise that they're free to share their space. Am I the asshole for asking parents to keep their kid out of an adults-only pool? Me, 31F, and my husband, 34M, paid quite a bit extra per night to have a room at a resort in Costa Rica with a swim-up room. This section of rooms in particular are the only, adult-only, spaces in the resort. While we were lounging on our chairs in front of the room in the pool, we saw a couple of rooms down a couple with a 13-15-year-old boy with them. There are several signs around the pool indicating it's adults only. Didn't say anything that day. Yesterday the boy was in the adult-only pool again snorkeling in their section. He really wasn't bothering us, but it bothered me that we paid hundreds of extra per night for this space and there's 5 other pools at the resort that are kid-friendly. Am I the asshole for asking if he was 18, and when they confirmed he wasn't I asked if we could respect the adults-only rules because of the extra cost? Not the asshole. Rules are rules, and especially if they reflect cost paid, they should be followed. However, that being said, I would be inclined to treat it like, acts like an adult, more than are you X many days old? If he's acting like an adult, not bothering anybody, I go with the spirit of the rule rather than its letter. Goodness knows that at 15, I would have much preferred a pool where I could just swim and not have to deal with the pool games and rambunctious laughter and such of a pool full of kids, and the only thing that would have led on that I was not 18 was, well, pretty much nothing. People's looks don't always reflect their physical age. He really wasn't bothering us. He was a quiet teen, minding his own business. You're really going to make a fuss over that? And potentially ruin someone's vacation over it? If it was a bunch of screaming children, sure, complain. But this? Loosen up, and enjoy your vacation. You are the asshole for confronting them directly, when you should have just asked management. Teenager is a gray area. You are the asshole, going off what you described though. He stayed in his room's pool area, wasn't loud or bothering anyone according to your story. I would have let it slide as he was acting respectfully and like an adult. You could have ended up with adult neighbors that are loud, drinking too much, obnoxious, and use the pool for inappropriate PDA. Edit. Reddit always preaches kindness, but man, going off these comments that hate my reply. It's sad. Not the asshole, however, you should have taken it directly to management because why was that family booked into that section to begin with? The hotel may not have even known they had the kid with them, which poses a whole other set of issues. Adult only means you don't have little kids running around, screaming and laughing. If the teenager was more or less quietly behaving like an adult would, then you're basically trying to be a hall monitor over some petty shit, and absolutely you are the asshole. Technically not the asshole. You're well within your rights to want the rules followed, but YTA in a very Larry David sorta way. An older kid minding his own business, not bothering anyone who could have very well been older than you expected, and you confronted the parents instead of notifying the resort. I wouldn't want to go anywhere with you due to the energy required to handle someone who is pedantic and high conflict, but you're allowed to be particular and you spent money to enjoy yourself. In summary, you're not wrong, but you're wrong.